Disney has released the first 2 episodes of Agatha All Along, which follows the titular witch as she finally escapes the spell of Wanda Maximoff 3 years after the events of WandaVision. In order to get her powers back, Agatha forms a new coven of witches to help her face the trials of the legendary Witch's Road. And I actually thought the first 2 episodes were pretty okay. Because despite the fact that I was a really big fan of WandaVision, I just wasn't particularly interested in seeing this show. I mean, maybe I would have been more interested in the series if it was released 2 years ago. You know, shortly after the release of Multiverse of Madness, which is clearly when this story takes place. But now, Marvel is currently riding on a mutant high following the success of X-Men 97 and Deadpool 3. So I think now is just a really weird time to release this show. But we are about to enter into spooky season, so maybe this series will play well with the crowd of people who love to religiously watch Hocus Pocus every Halloween. And I am definitely not one of those people, so if I was able to enjoy these episodes myself, then I'm sure the people who actively love stories about witches and witchcraft will be able to as well. But the first episode had a True Detective-esque vibe, which I really enjoyed, and the second episode had the vibe of a heist film where the main character has to assemble a crew, which I also enjoyed. But the best thing about Agatha All Along is clearly Kathryn Hahn. She seems to be having a really good time playing the titular character, and since she is having fun, it's easy for the audience to have some fun as well. I just hope that this story stays focused on the fact that Agatha Harkness is a villain. Disney has a history of turning their villains into misunderstood good guys after all, but I think it would be really cool if this series ended with Agatha still being a bad guy. Regardless, I think the rest of the cast was also pretty good here. Aubrey Plaza probably has the most interesting character, but she didn't really have a lot to do in these first 2 episodes. So hopefully we'll get to learn more about her character in the remaining few episodes of the season. But aside from Plaza, I also love that Deborah Jo Rupp is just here for no real reason. Because when the trailer showed that Agatha would be assembling a coven of witches, I thought it was weird to see Deborah Jo Rupp in that group. After all, she was very clearly not playing a witch in WandaVision, but she's also not playing a witch in Agatha All Along. She's just a regular person who happens to be along for the ride, which I thought was a bit of fun. One thing I didn't enjoy, however, were the mystery boxes that were present in the story. I just do not give a shit about whoever it is that Joe Locke is playing. No offense to Joe Locke, he's giving a pretty solid performance in this show, but I don't understand why his character's identity is being kept a secret. I mean, I assume it's for SEO purposes. People will write clickbaity articles and make clickbaity videos, and Agatha All Along will get plenty of Google searches as a result, culminating in a boost in viewership around the penultimate episode of the season. And that does make for a decent marketing strategy, I guess, but it doesn't exactly make for the most satisfying storytelling. But I guess we'll have to see where that plot point goes before I can officially say that it was narratively unsatisfying. But while I'm not particularly invested in everything the show has to offer, I think the series is engaging enough to keep me interested in the story being told. And that is a good thing, considering that I wasn't looking forward to seeing this show in the first place. So even though I didn't exactly expect to say it, I am looking forward to seeing the next episode. Hopefully it'll turn out to be good, but I guess we'll see how episode 3 of Agatha All Along will actually turn out to be once it gets released on Wednesday.